Hey guys, it's Scott here and welcome to this week's FUT Champs highlights video. I wanted to do this one to basically try and help a couple of people make that jump from Gold 1 to Elite 3, which is something that a lot of us struggle with and a lot of people year after year after year may not make that jump. So this is the team that we're using this week. And we started off with the normal Ben Yedder, and then I think 9 games in, I did the Player of the Month after he was re-released after they had their whole issue. But here are the custom tactics that we use this week. Not really that high on like depth and everything like that, but also not on drop back, and just balanced on both of them. In a 4-2-3-1, now I do have Awar on that screen, but in this weekend league it was Renato Sanchez, but I just wanted to show you all of that. Player instructions, you can see I don't really have that much on Neymar or the striker. I just want them to do what they do. On my Lamb and Ram though, in 4-2-3-1, I want them to get into the box, and you'll see a couple of goals as to the reason why. On my CDMs, I have both on cut passing lanes, stay back while attacking and cover centre. However, now that I have Awar, because he's a little bit better going forward, I may have him on balanced attack going forward. I'm going to test that out throughout the week before the next weekend league. And then on both fullbacks, I have overlaps, so that when they get forward, they are overlapping. And you'll see throughout these highlights exactly why that is the case. But again, I wanted to basically try and point out a couple of things, because I myself, even this year, took quite a while to get used to this gameplay, and it's only in the last month or so that I now consider myself an elite player. We're hitting elite every single week, and so I can try and help you guys improve. Now, unfortunately, throughout these first 9 games, as you can see right there, I had absolutely awful speed up lag. Now, a lot of you that may have speed up lag may only have it for about 5 seconds. Mine is really bad, and for those of the people that have not seen it on the streams, which by the way you can check out, link is in the description to my Twitch channel, and that is where we stream these games. My speed up lag lasts roughly 30 seconds to a minute, and it's absolutely killer. It can make me concede 1 or 2 goals pretty much every single time it happens, so it's really, really bad. However, we still persist and we break our way through, and we do manage to go 2-0 right there. And the first games for someone like me are normally generally quite easy, and I'm coming up against people that don't have the best record, the best form, etc. And so a couple of dragbacks here and there normally get the job done. And for those of you that maybe aren't utilising dragbacks as much, they are the best thing in this game. They're very, very boring, but that is what this game is, sadly. If you want to win, sometimes you've got to play boring. Now, my front 4 are amazing together. Messi, I had thoughts before this weekend of potentially switching out Messi and Ben Yedder for Bernardo Silva's player moments and a scream or record breaker Aguero. But I thought, you know what? I can't do it, right? Messi is too damn good. And I have a couple of stats that I'll show you at the end, or tell you at the end at least, in terms of their goal involvement. And there were a lot of rage quits this weekend. Specifically in games like 10 to 18, I think I had 6 rage quits. And I had some in the first 10 games as well. So it's pretty crazy the goal involvements that these guys have. They're just so damn good. But you can see Messi here, we still use the same free kick technique, just a little bit of top spin right there, aim it above the goal, put about 1.5 to 2 bars power on, and just hopefully green time it and Messi can still bang them in. But that right there, that dribbling from Messi is why he's in this team. He is just outrageous, and so is this goal. This is the best one I scored all weekend. It was sick. A sombrero into a couple of flips by Neymar, and then he just bangs it. Unfortunately, we can see a dodgy goal here, but it's all fine. Because Messi steps up to the plate yet again, and again, just over 1 bar of power when it's that close in, and we do get the goal. We're 5-0 at this point. Now, we're coming up against teams that, some of them are really good, some of them are okay. I imagine that a lot of people that are watching this potentially to try and get better at the game rather than just as a viewer of my channel may have a team that is slightly worse than mine. I am on a road to glory, and yes, we do have Messi, Mbappe, Neymar, Player of the Month Ben Yedder and all of that good stuff. And so it is obviously possible without putting money into the game, but I imagine that... Oh, and here's some more speed up lag for your viewing pleasure, by the way. It was an absolute joke this weekend. And so, yeah, that was not fun. And we actually went 2-0 down in this game due to speed up lag and then a rebound. Brilliant. But yeah, I imagine that some of you, even though I don't put money into the game, won't have a team as good as mine because maybe you're not able to play as much. Obviously, I do this full time right now. And so what I would advise is a lot of people, one of their issues will be that they're not using players that suit the meta, right? So they may be using, I don't know, Harry Kane up front instead of a special Aguero card. They may be using, I don't know, someone on the wing that doesn't have the high agility and stuff like that that you need on this game. So for those that are not 100% sure, pace is pretty damn important this year. You kind of need it. Good shooting stats make a big difference as well, specifically finishing and shot power. Shot power, for some reason, makes a massive difference because the keepers can't react quickly enough to it, and so you can just bang it in. Passing stats, whilst they're pretty important in my opinion, the passing on this game is the most broken mechanic that exists on it, and so they do matter, but only to a certain extent. Now, dribbling stats are the ones that matter. High agility and balance are really, really good this year, which is why someone like Messi feels the best that he ever has in FIFA. And it's very, very important. By the way, what are these 2 goals that have just been scored in this game? Absolute nonsense. And so those kind of stats as well as high stamina are the ones that matter. By the way, look at that for a top corner banger from Perisic. So come on, clutch it up. I believe that puts us 8-0. And then I had the worst connection that I've had in a game of FIFA. Or maybe we're 7-0 at this point. I can't remember. I didn't look at the screen. But if it is 8-0, then I had speed up lag for a massive, massive chunk of this game. You can see it in effect right here. This is not me pausing the video. This is what happens with my speed up lag. As I say, it lasts about 30 seconds to a minute every time it happens. And it only happens, like, every couple of weeks it randomly comes back. And as you can see here, more speed up lag. It's absolutely ridiculous. And so we do unfortunately pick up our first loss here. And part of it is due to bad luck. Part of it is due to speed up lag. It sucks. Like, this guy wasn't amazing. And as you can see from the fact that we actually make it 4-3 here, without the speed up lag, I feel I easily would have beat this guy. So the rest of my games, I actually played off stream this week. And the reason why was because, one, I wondered if it would make any difference in the connection. No, it didn't. The connection was still awful. But mainly because I got on a good run and I just wanted to keep on playing. So I wanted to talk about a couple more things that I think people should be focusing on in order to try and make that jump from gold to elite. And some of the things that have worked for me recently. So using the custom tactics and the player instructions that I have in this video at the start of them. Again, if you missed them, you can go back to the start and look at those. I feel like they've really, really helped me out. And the reason being is I finally changed away a couple of weeks ago from drop back to balanced. And whilst it sometimes leaves you a little bit more exposed, I do feel like it massively helps with my attacks and counter-attacking specifically. Because I've also made a big, big change. And possibly the biggest change that I have noticed when changing my tactics and instructions to what they currently are is, you will see a lot of the time in these clips, Nelson Semedo, but I would say more specifically because he seems more involved, the Futmas Ferland Mendy getting forward. I made a massive change of going from stay back while attacking on my fullbacks, which is what I have used for years, to having them on balanced and having their run type on overlap. And you will notice a lot in the goals that have already happened, but also the ones that are going to be upcoming, that specifically Mendy, the amount of times that I get him out on the edge of the box and then play a pass maybe back to the edge of the box on the side or into the middle of the box, and it just works really, really well. This was a beautiful goal by Mbappe, by the way. Nice little skill run in FIFA 20, not that common. So, honestly, try it out. If you feel like you are a little bit too exposed, then fair enough. But I would definitely suggest trying out having your overlapping fullbacks on. And you can see even here, right? He doesn't get involved, but you can see Mendy at the top of your screen, right? He's there in a position, and it gives you another outlet for your attack, which I feel I was lacking before, because the 4-2-3-1 is a formation that I've been using for years, and I really, really like it. I think it suits my style of play, which is just quick interplay, nice overlapping, and good, agile, quick, nice, small, dribbling beasts are the players that I like to use, and I feel this formation fits them perfectly. But I felt like I wasn't getting enough people forward in my attacks, and so having those fullbacks on overlap is huge, as well as having them on balanced rather than stay back while attacking. Ironically, since I've said it, I don't actually think any of the goals have involved the fullbacks, but trust me when I say it, it offers you so many options going forward, and God knows what happened here. This was one of those games, right, where I dominated this dude up until that point, and then my defence decided to do that. But here you go, here's Ferland Mendy going forward, and again, if I had him on stay back while attacking, whilst he's not the guy that gets the final assist or the goal, he's involved in the attack, and it makes your opponent have to think a little bit differently, because you have that extra option. Even if you don't use them, it's another player that they might have to mark, or they might have to block a pass off to, or something along those lines. And so, definitely try it out. It is the biggest change that has really, really helped me going forward. And I would also like to say, if you're not doing them, as you saw by that goal there, little just left stick dribbles combined with drag backs are key this year. As you can see, look at this. For a clutch right here, we give it to Politano, the 120th minute super sub of dreams. Bang! Nice finish from him right there. And this is why I wasn't streaming. I went from 8-1, and at this point was 17-1. I was on a mad, mad run. And it was going very, very well. We do actually get a little bit lucky in this goal here. But again, little drag backs combined with just not pressing any other dribbling modifiers, but just using left stick dribbling and going forwards one way and then back the other way. It's very, very hard to mark and to track. If you're quick enough, like right there, a little fake one way and then another works like a dream. And then combine that with drag backs, which can do the same thing, and you are in the money, basically. So Messi is a really, really good player, obviously, to do that kind of thing with. His dribbling stats are amazing, and so if you literally dribble left and then check back to the right, it can throw a lot of people off, because they'll expect it with a drag back. Once they see the first touch of the drag back, they'll know, by the way, that goal cost me my run. I was 19-1, and we lost to that. I hit the post 3 times in that game. Absolute nightmare. We had some poor luck, unfortunately, when it came to our losses. That right there, pass went to the wrong guy. And then Ryan Kent is through on goal. I think Militao should be able to bully him off the ball there, but he doesn't, and we lose 2 in a row. So that is how quickly a weekend league can go from being an absolutely insane record to one that is getting a little bit more scary. But as I was saying, the use of drag backs, and look, even that right there from Sanchez, little tiny checks and darts sideways in your dribbling are something that I have really, really introduced into my gameplay the last few weeks to push me to a consistent elite player. Combining that with the fact I now have my fullbacks going forward, it makes a world of difference. As Messi right here just whacks in a couple of skill moves. And I think that's another thing as well, trying to be as unpredictable as possible. As Mendy, there you go. Another fullback getting forward in order to assist the goal that time, actually. So that was quite nice. But being unpredictable in your attack is key as well. You can see that a lot of the goals in this are similar, in that there are a lot of drag backs and a lot of near post finishes. But that is because they are the most OP thing in the game. But if that isn't working for you, then you can try something else, right? So instead of going for the near post drag back shot 5 times in a row, if it hasn't worked the first 2 times, go for something different, right? Concede a very lucky goal there, but it doesn't matter. So you'll see a lot of the time I will be trying different things with my dribbling. Sometimes I will even pass the ball backwards when I could have passed it forwards, because it's less predictable and it makes it better for me. Like, I could have whipped in across there, but instead I went backwards, worked it through the midfield, and eventually get it to Messi. So having that little bit more patience and unpredictability to your gameplay is something that I would also advise trying to do as well. And it is something that I have been advocating now since I have started doing it myself, as we can see to Pele, and then just nonsense to lose this game, sadly. But yeah, I have really been trying to be a lot more patient, build up play from the midfield, go backwards, and again, utilise the fullbacks and stuff, and then look at this. Again, you can see the luck that we're getting in these goals that we're conceding, and that's what lost me that game. So, we were actually playing good football this weekend and good FIFA, and again, I was being patient, I was playing well, and we had some bad luck in some of these games. Now, a couple of the losses were deserved, like this one. This guy outplayed me, definitely deserved to win. And that is completely and utterly fair. So we go into our last game here. We are 22-6. We lost 3 in a row, which was awful. A couple of them were bad luck, and then we got a very deserved loss. But again, you can see the running themes of how I have moved from a gold player to an elite player consistently this year. Dragbacks need to be implemented into your gameplay, but again, being unpredictable. I could easily have dragged that back onto Messi's left foot, but instead, I went onto his right with a heel-to-heel and banged it in at the near post. These are the things you've got to look at, and that is what you need going forward. Having those fullbacks going forward was a massive thing for me, and so here again is the team that we used, but then halfway through we upgraded Ben Yedder to his Player of the Month. Going forward next week, I will be using Awar instead of Renato Sanchez as well. So hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have any feedback, let me know what it is in the comment section down below. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and follow us on Twitch if you want to go and see us do all of this stuff live. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.